If you're a personal trainer, without trying to scare you too much, I think that your days are very numbered. Whether you've been in the profession for 10 years or you're just getting started. You see, I've been running one of the world's largest online personal training apps called JSA since 2017, and I can see the trends, I can see the numbers, the analytics, and better yet, I can see the threats in real time. Now, let me tell you a little story. For any of you that aren't from the UK, we have black cabs. They are taxis that operate around London. And what people don't realize is being a black cab driver in London used to be one of the most difficult things ever, because you didn't just need to know how to drive, you needed to learn something called the knowledge. Now, for the knowledge, you had to know 25,000 streets in London off by heart. So if someone jumps in, says I need to go there, you know where it is. You need to know 20,000 landmarks. What people didn't realize is if you ever saw anyone with a moped going out with a clipboard, driving around London, they were often studying for the knowledge. And it would take 3 to 4 years of study to become a black cab driver. MRI scans even showed that black cab drivers' hippocampus, which is a region in the brain, grew because of this. And I'm sure any of you, like me, that use Waze to go everywhere, if you use Google Maps, you're mental. Use Waze because then you can see where the police cameras are. That part of my brain has shrunk because even when I go home and see my parents, I know where things are, but I have to put it into the sat-nav because that part of my brain's atrophied. Anyway, everyone was sure that black cabs would be a part of London forever and that the knowledge would be a thing. And it was only when Uber came along that finished. No one saw it coming. With Uber, all of that knowledge just became redundant. No one cared because an unqualified driver that didn't know where the hell he was could then have a bit of software on their phone that would tell them where to go, the best route, and even have all the analytics and data from current trends in traffic to know which is the best route. Now looking back, it makes sense. Back in the day, we had travel agents. When you wanted to get your group together to go to Malia back in 07, you go to a travel agent, they'd sort it out for you. Again, websites arrived and you could book your travel on there. You didn't have to go to Thompson on the high street. Again, booking your holidays, you thought this will never go anywhere. Blockbuster. For any of you too young for that, don't even worry. And again, let's think about people that used to process films in cameras. Up until the point that these businesses vanished, everyone thought they'd be around forever. So let's look at personal training now. To me, there are 3 main threats which are going to jeopardize personal training over the next few years. And this video is about preparing for them so that you can survive this oncoming wave. The first one has to be weight loss medications. And even calling them weight loss medications, I don't think is enough here. We have a GLP-1, we can look at Ozempic, known as Wegovy at the top. Then a better one came along, known as Mounjaro, which is tirzepatide. Now, you could call Ozempic a single agonist, Mounjaro a double agonist. Then retatrutide is on its way through trials as a triple agonist. GLP, GIP, and the effect it's going to have potentially treating fatty liver disease, obesity. Andrew Huberman reckons it could be $1 trillion drug. The effects of these weight loss medications are already impacting the economy in ways that we can see. Aviation, planes are using less fuel than they did a few years ago. In jewelry, jewelers are now using less gold in wedding rings. Obesity rates for the first time in history have started to decline. The world is changing because of these drugs, whether you like that or not. It doesn't matter. That's the reality of it. Now, there is opportunity within this because there's now a massive cohort of people that would never have stepped foot in a gym, that wouldn't care about coaching, that now are mindful of muscle wastage, getting adequate protein, and preserving muscle tissue. Those people will find their way into the fitness industry. So whilst weight loss medications could extinct us, they can also bring us opportunity. But then again, that opportunity is only going to be available to those that are out there doing the things that modern businesses need to do to get attention. Standing by reception in the gym is not going to get you all of those people on weight loss medications. You're going to have to be at the forefront of social media. I can make this a whole video altogether. That's the first threat. Now, the second one, again, people that know more about AI are probably going to step in here. I think apps are going to die a death in the next few years, especially coaching apps, fitness apps. Again, I have one of the biggest apps ever. And I think we're going to see AI agents that pretty much are on our phone. And rather than even opening an app, you just talk to your agent. Oh yeah, I'm on my way to the gym. How you feeling? Yeah, a little bit sore. In the last session, you did this. How did you feel at the end of it? Yeah, you know what? It's about an 8 out of 10 difficulty. You'll just be able to talk to your agent about everything. How'd you sleep last night? Yeah, I actually slept pretty good. But the agent's also going to have the data from your 8-sleep mattress. Your agent could also have some input into the amount of work you've been doing, how stressed you are, your resting heart rate, all of these different metrics. And your AI agent is going to say, hey, I've derived your workout for today. It could seem like there's less here than usual, but because of your heart rate variability, the amount you slept last night and how much work you did yesterday, we think for you to optimize and get the most out of the session, you're going to do this much. The idea of going outside of your AI agent to hire a personal trainer, I think could seem stupid. I think that your AI agent as well is going to say, hey James, I know that you've got 45 seconds remaining on this set. Do you want me to top up your protein order? Because we've seen that if you've had 1 protein scoop a day, that you've only got 2 scoops left and the shipping is 3 days. Do you want me to go ahead and order that for you? Yeah, do you know what? I'd love you to do that. Then just as you're leaving the gym, hey, James, your Porsche is due for a service in the next 7 days. Considering it's Friday, probably one of the best times to get through to the Porsche service center. Do you want us to call ahead and book that in for you? Yeah, please, thanks. I think that we're going to have AI agents that take care of everything for us. Hey, I need to go to Dubai on these days. Can you organize all my travel? Sure. Would you like a window or aisle seat, James? Now, I could be completely wrong with this. This 3-year buffer could be 6, could be 10, could be 1. But let me ask you this. Even if this seems like an extinction level event, you can either be ready for it or it's just going to fucking slap you and destroy you when it comes along. And for me, I think that we should aim for this catastrophe to happen so we can maximize what we do in the next 3 years. The third threat, I think, is just going to be exhaustion. So in advertising, when we create adverts, you can only show them to people a certain amount of time before people get exhausted of it and don't want to see it anymore. Now, since the pandemic, every single coach is an online coach. Every single person is now an online business coach doing what I'm doing. That, funnily enough, a lot of my competitors never even ran competitive fitness businesses. There's even one woman I'm working with at the moment, and she's like, oh, I joined this guy's program. And I look at his page and I'm like, why? Charging her 15 grand. The guy's not even got 10,000 followers and he's teaching you how to build a social media platform. He's never even had a big business and he's the guy that's going to grow your business to the next scale. I didn't get that. I was like, out of all people, why him? So yeah, I reckon you have 3 years. So if you've just newly qualified or if you're a seasoned vet, this next 3-year window is where everything happens. But there's good news in the back of this. It's not like it's going to be 3 years, then you're fucked and you're out on the street and you're homeless. It's that in the next 3 years, there is so much work you need to do that you can adapt and pivot and react to what's coming. Now, quickly in the description, there is my PT starter kit. It's $99 US, which isn't a lot. And you get my short form content mastery, which teaches you everything about making content. But then also there is a personal trainer course in there about running and operating a business in person and going online. And there's currently $99 off that. So there's going to be a link for that in the description. I'm just going to send that to the boys. And you can buy that or don't. It's $99. I mean, you get one client out of it. Anyway, back to the video. So there's 3 real phases we need to think about to deal with these 3 very real threats. The first stage is going to be learn. The second stage is going to be the pivot. And the third stage is going to be the redirect. And we'll get onto this in a second. So any of you that watched my videos before will know that there's a 4-stage system that you need to learn, not just as a personal trainer, but running any business. Socials, squeeze, sell, scale. Now, the interesting thing here is the socials element. I learned how to operate social media as a personal trainer. The personal trainer account, I got 1.4 million. But then I could replicate that onto my business channel, which has now got 44,000 subscribers, which means I could then replicate that to create a platform for my online coaching app, 96,000 on Instagram, which means I could then create a podcast channel, which has got 46.9 thousand. Once you learn how to grow a social media channel, you know how to grow all social media channels. It's not like you learn how to grow socials as a PT and suddenly everything else is so much more difficult. If anything, the opposite. Personal trainer accounts are the hardest to grow because the least people care about you buying your fucking workout. Oh, fuck yeah. Let's have a look at the Newtonic account. 78,500 Instagram subscribers. And by the way, if any of you head to newtonic.com and you buy anything from us and you don't think it's better than what you think, just email me, james@newtonic.com, and I'll refund you. So once you learn how to crack just one form of social media, you actually unlock the keys to doing it for everything. So whatever businesses it is you have, because you might be an accountant or a barber or something else, once you learn how to grow one account, you can take those skills and apply them to everything. Because let's think about those skills. Repetition, eating shit. Let's think about Thomas Edison, for example. Thomas Edison, who invented the light bulb, you wouldn't be able to see me right now if he hadn't have invented it. Reportedly tested over 10,000 different filament materials before actually inventing the light bulb. A journalist once asked him about failing 10,000 times, and Thomas Edison said, I've not failed, I've found 10,000 ways that won't work. And I guarantee, for any of you watching this, if you were to try and find 10,000 reels that didn't work, my God, you would find a lot that do. Chris and myself have done about 5,000 Instagram posts. He's at like 3 million, I'm at 1.4, which means he's kind of winning the Instagram race, but I've got a nicer car. But yeah, it took years and thousands of opportunities for Thomas Edison to invent the light bulb. And I love to remind people, why do you think that you're so fucking special that you're not going to suck like that? So over the next 3 years, you have the opportunity to have as many free spins as you want on this roulette game of social media. That's what people don't realize. Every single spin is fucking free and the return on investment can be massive. All it takes is for one post to boot off and your whole life has changed forever. Do you not understand that? You've got this little alarm, ding, 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 ding. Every time you post, you are rolling the fucking dice to potentially not just winning, but learning and getting feedback from your audience and getting feedback from the world. It's one video. And if you're posting once a day, even then I'm like, is that fucking it? I'm pretty sure Chris Williamson is posting like 14, 15 times a day. He's outsourced an entire company to do it. And I'm about to do something similar because I'm well aware that I've probably only got 3 years left to really maximize everything from social media. So I'm going to do the same. If I have this life from posting less than once a day, imagine what I'd have if I posted 5 times a day. So that's socials. Then we have squeeze. Ultimately, we can't control the algorithms and how they change change, and we saw things like the TikTokification of social media, where at the moment, to put it briefly, people see your content not because they follow you, they see it because it's good. And the algorithms work very simply like this. They get your reel. They don't go, is this good or not? They go, let's give it to 100 people and see how they react. The majority of those 100 people don't fucking follow you. So when you're making content, please think to yourself, if I showed this to 100 people, how many would actually like it? Because showing it to your audience is very, very different. Cool. Then if 100 people, quite a lot like it, let's give it to 1,000 people, quite a lot like it, go to 1 million people, quite a lot like it, until you get the diminishing point of returns, or there's no longer a captive audience that speak English. Cool. Now, off the back of that, we need to get as much data as we can, because at the moment, if you were to delete my Instagram or this YouTube, I've still got thousands of people that I can email. Case in point, this morning, I actually look at our revenue for the month and it was a bit slow. So I've decided I'm going to dial up the amount of production videos that I'm making for the channel. But also, I thought, what offer could I put out there to get money in my bank account in the next 48 hours? I could run a discount on my mentorship or whatever. Then I thought, actually, why not get my PT starter kit going out there? Because that has really helped a lot of personal trainers. And I could be real with them, because I actually sat at my desk this morning thinking, fuck, I've probably only got 3 years left. And while sitting there thinking about how I'm going to maximize the next 3 years, I thought, fuck, this is a good video. So I get my car, come here and make it for you. So you've got the socials, you've got the squeeze, get as much data as you can over the next 3 years, because all those people that do coaching with you, next minute, they're buying your fucking drink. When I look at the analytics from my daily emails that go out to people, about half the people go to my coaching app, half the people go to Newtonic. Then yesterday's email, a third went to Newtonic, a third went to my coaching app, and a third went to my podcast. You see, even growing the podcast is a diversification of all the things I learned from being a personal trainer. So the next stage would be sell, and you learn a lot about selling. So at this point, I'm pretty much an expert in social media, as you can see. 1.1 million Facebook, 1.8 million TikTok, 1.4 million Instagram, nearly 500k on one YouTube, 50k on the other YouTube, 50k on the other YouTube, podcast, coming up to 20 million downloads. You know, the socials element, I've done a lot of it. Squeeze, got over half a million emails. Then the sell, I've sold a lot of things. I've sold door-to-door sales for N-Power, gas and electricity. I now sell the world's first productivity drink. I'm now selling a course for personal trainers. The selling component is the bit that you kind of learn the most about. And probably the best lesson I can give you is this. If 1% of your efforts are successful, you're doing well. When you're selling, think about them more than you. Give them a guarantee. Think about what their concerns are. Build a sales environment that is more congruent with them being happy than you being happy. And again, the stuff that I learned about selling from Newtonic, I'd learned from selling business mentorships, and I'd also learned from selling online coaching. Once you learn how to sell one thing, you learn how to sell all things. And then there's a scale component. Now, the scale component is really the part you guys should be the most interested about, because the next 3 years, you get the opportunity to do so much testing on social media, so much testing with getting people's email addresses, and so much testing with selling, that your element of scale is probably going to be what I said before about a pivot. If you had said to me back in the day, I was going to be a 3 times #1 bestselling author, soon to be 4 times, I wouldn't have believed you. And again, actually, getting the accolade that I have for these 3 books is really, really difficult. People that are much better at writing than me don't have those accolades. So ask yourself this: why is it that a personal trainer that's written a few books has got better accolades than most authors without writing a better book? Because Will Storr is a much better author than me. Much better. Best-selling author Will Storr. Doesn't say #1, does it? I'm only joking. The reason being is Will Storr is playing a better authoring game than me, but I think that I'm better on social media. I'm better at email marketing, and I'm better at creating landing pages. And although it sounds fucking crazy to say, this is the reason you should listen to me, not the fancy car or anything else, because that is a visual representation of exactly what I'm saying. Through becoming a personal trainer, I managed to learn how to be an author. Through being a personal trainer and author, I could leverage appearances on television to make my businesses grow and prosper, and then I can use those businesses that have grown and prospered to create the business mentorship, which means from the business mentorship, I now have spare income that I can allocate into investing into other businesses and starting another business in a new niche that I had no experience within. The next 3 years aren't just imperative for you and your coaching business to thrive, make money, pay your bills, live your life, enjoy yourselves. The real opportunity isn't even in the money that you're going to make in the next 3 years. It is the lessons that you can learn. So in 3 years' time, you are either a business professional firing on all cylinders who is an adequate expert in all of these fields, or you fumbled the biggest fucking opportunity of your life to learn the things necessary for your future. And you need to really drill this out of your head. Chances of you being a successful personal trainer in 10 years' time are fucking slim. About as likely as black cabs and the college for the knowledge making a comeback, which will never happen. Either you think Blockbuster is going to make a return and we're going to go back to watching fucking tapes, or you have an opportunity in front of you to really, really learn a lot. Because let's come full circle on this. Although I say that personal training and online coaching is a difficult thing to sell, it is the fucking biggest gift as a step into entrepreneurialism you'll ever get. As an online personal trainer, you need no staff, no overheads, no costs. You need a fucking iPhone, a tripod, a MacBook, and knowledge of the gym and training people. The biggest expense you'd have is being a qualified PT. Do you not understand how many businesses don't even make money in their first year? So your personal training curse and the fact that AI agents are probably going to fuck you is still your biggest blessing, because as of right now today, you have 3 years where you can grow, scale, learn, and become the person you need to, so that if it is 3 or 6 or 10 years time, the collapse of personal training as we know it comes in, you are either ready or you are not. You either did the work or you didn't. You either learned the lessons or you didn't. It's that fucking simple. I teach people all of this for a living. You can buy the PT course, link in the description. You can join my business mentorship, or you can watch this video. It's that simple. I didn't mean this to be like a doomsday video, but if you lot don't get this right, you're so fucked.